Hi, everyone. My name is Brianna Wilkerson. I'm a holistic health and life coach with my business Made Well, and I'm also an advocate for essential oils, and as Bethany knows, many other things. But I just wanted to come and just interview Bethany here, she has a lot going on. I'm going to have her tell you and just really share a little bit about her experience with the 7-Day Healthy Body Challenge, as well as a little bit about the private members club I have now for women and their whole health and life. So thank you, Bethany, for joining.
Thanks for having me here.
I
am Bethany Zal. I am the, sole proprietor at zellbeing.com. And I started on a healthy lifestyle journey myself about 4 years ago, and lost over 100 pounds, and have kept it off for almost 2 years, a little more than 2 years at this point. And I just really feel compelled to help others find this healthy balance and start their own healthy journey. I do work in the field of healthcare and wellness. I do a lot of community outreach programs through my local hospital, and I work specifically with breast cancer patients, but I also do a lot with public health and community health through my paid work. But I really enjoyed the 7-day training, and I'm sorry that I can't remember the exact terminology for it. But I think sometimes as we get on a healthy journey and we're far removed maybe from where we started, we kind of lose track. And I don't want to say I lost my way. I definitely didn't lose my way. I mean, I was still maintaining my weight loss, but I think it's important that we kind of keep learning. Part of a healthy living journey is constantly learning. Constantly being aware of yourself and your body and your struggles, and being mindful of the things that you're allowing maybe to creep back in that might be interfering with some healthy choices that you should be making. And so, I really have looked to find mentors along my journey that can keep me accountable, that can, kind of help keep encouraging me on my journey and keep pushing me toward the goal that I want to stay at, which is maintaining this healthy lifestyle forever. And so I met Brianna, I don't even know how long it's been.
Yeah, it's almost been a year, I feel.
Probably close to a year.
Yeah.
And what really drew me to her was that we shared a Christian faith. And I know that when she gives out information, it's through that filter. And to me, that's vital. For me, my faith is the foundation of my journey, and my faith in God it's pivotal. And, without that laid there, it's really hard to look at building up and doing anything in your own strength. And so, for me, there are a lot of people out there that may have good information, and I look to them sometimes for educational pieces. But when I'm looking at direction for my life and my journey, I
Oh, you cut out a little bit there.
To me. And so that was, they're kind of, I don't want to say new agey, but there are some that are not in line with my faith system. And so for me, that was pivotal. Was that. So when she put out the 7-day challenge, I was on board. I was kind of coming off a summer of running around, and when I tend to get busier, Brian and I were always talking about, we were just talking about how I'm always busy. And so, yes, I am always busy, but summers are busier. And so I was coming of that very, very busy season. And I said, you know what, I think I need a reset. I really need to just kind of focus on the 7 pillars and look at, all of these areas and see where I've maybe gone away or let too many things in, and where things aren't clicking anymore, where I need to tighten the reins, and just see, if I'm derailing in a way that's going to send me on a course that I don't want to go. And so when she offered it, I said, I'm in. I am in. And I followed along really closely. And it really brought to light some of the areas where I was struggling a little bit and kind of letting things slide in the name of I'm busy, busier. And And, and good to kind of keep yourself accountable and have those little reset periods. So I was
Mm-hmm.
very thankful for the opportunity.
Awesome. Yeah. So I guess too, like, I'm like a big pillar person, but in this, we were looking at the pillars of physical health, right? So nutrition, exercise, sleep, digestion, reducing our toxic load, and mindset and habits. And of those 7, we had videos, there was worksheets, and then there was Q&A sessions. So of those 7, what are the one or two that really, as you were going through it, like you were just like, oh, wow, this is what I need to, because I try to make it as simple as possible. It wasn't like, go eat X, Y, and Z. It's like, where can you start now? Like, what does a healthy meal look like to you? And how can you start there? So of those 7, like kind of which one of those did you realize the most that you needed to kind of work in?
I think going into it, I knew that my nutrition had kind of backslid a little bit just with the go of the summer. And I've got 3 kids and a husband who works completely opposite work schedule than me. So, the convenience of going through the drive-through or picking up a pizza, it gets a little overwhelming, and especially when you're busier in life. So I kind of had a knowledge that it was already a little off kilter, and I wasn't eating as many balanced, healthful meals as I would like to be. And so, having that reinforced was obviously one of the ones that really kind of struck me. But one that you talked about through the pillars was sleep. And that was an area that I hadn't really realized had gotten away from me. Just as I was busier and I was beginning to stay up later, I don't know if I even ever told you this story, but I used to be a serious night owl, and I could not get up in the morning. And over the course of my healthy journey, I've kind of changed that, where I was getting up earlier at like 5 o'clock in the morning and beginning to do devotions then and focus on some of my self-care time in the morning. And I was going to bed much earlier. But as the summer drew on and I was busier and trying to fit more in less time, I was staying up later in the evenings, even 10:30, 11:30, although it wasn't as late as I had been when I was a total night owl. I could see that it was starting to take a toll on my day. I was waking up later in the morning, so I wasn't having as much time in the morning to take care of myself the way that I had been when I had been going to bed earlier. My sleep was more disrupted. And so I, without even noticing or even really paying attention to that feature, it had gotten a little bit away from me. And so it was really an eye-opener for me that, even though you're getting up earlier than you would have when you were a total night owl, it's still, you can revert back pretty quickly without even noticing, and it may just feel like a half an hour or an hour that you're pushing back your bedtime, but it's also pushing back your awake time. And so it was something that really kind of drew my attention, and definitely something that I've been working on since going through the 7-day challenge.
Oh, so good. So maybe just kind of to wrap us up on the 7-day challenge, like who do you think it's good for? Like those starting out, those kind of wanting a reboot, or both? Like just trying to think about those watching.
I think it's really good for both. One hesitation with the, maybe people who are just starting out fresh, it's a lot of great information, but, trying to take on too much in a 7-day period may not be practical. But I mean, even if they took a look at one of the pillars and worked on that one for a week or two, and then did the second, like self-paced it, so it wasn't back to back to back to back 7-day, we're going to look at 7 different things in 7 days. If it were spaced out a little more, I think it would be perfect for beginners, because it's not overwhelming, and it was very comprehensive, even though it wasn't overwhelming, sometimes programs that it's like, oh my gosh, this is so much information and I'm not going to get through it all. It was a perfect amount of information for one day to focus on that topic. But, my encouragement would be, if you're someone just starting out, don't do it day. I would take one and look at it. But for a reboot, it's perfect for that 1 week where you already have that foundational information and you're just like being reminded. And so for me, it was absolutely perfect at the pace that it was, and, great information. And I saved it, so now I can consult with it when I go back and I'm struggling in an area and seeing, oh, where am I kind of going off course here?
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be a great tool for me to have kind of in my arsenal to go back and consult with. So I'm very, very glad.
Great. Yeah. And for those, who are thinking about maybe buying it's available. Everything is available at one time, as opposed to when we were doing it, it was like one at a time. So definitely, like, you have all of the information available at your fingertips, but definitely take time. And I would recommend too, which we could talk about this a little bit, the members club that I have, the Healthy and Thriving Women Members Club. That's a space that if you choose, if you want to join that, so let me say this, you could either get the 7-day Healthy Body Challenge, or you could join the members club, which closes right now in October for enrollment, which has a 7-day Healthy Body Challenge in it. But why I created even the members club was to have that, just touch base point of community, as well as, you still have coaching, you still have a private space to ask your questions, as well as get support if you're maybe not ready for that one-on-one. And I know you've joined the members club after, so could you maybe just tell us a little bit about how it's been for you? I know it's been like a week, but how it's been for you, and just like why you chose to kind of join the members club.
Well, like you said, it's not been very long, so I haven't really tapped into the full potential of the group, but I really knew that I needed just a community to hold me accountable for my own lifestyle journey. And, as I'm especially now sharing my tips and my tools with people who are starting up, it's easy to kind of neglect your own care and your own journey. And so I knew that, being successful long term didn't happen in isolation for me for the past 3 years. As I've maintained my weight loss, I had the support of my family and some of my friends, and I still have that, but it's not always as easy to access as having a place online, where I'm struggling in the middle of the day. I can log into the group and just be like, help, I'm freaking out here. Or so, I knew I needed to do something that was, when you pay for something, you're more committed to it as well. Yeah. So I knew, like, if I'm investing my money and my time and energy into this, I'm going to be more committed to it because I've paid for it, and I knew I needed to do that. I knew that it was important that I invest in myself, because I'm important and I can't help others if I'm not helping myself. And so for me, I've really, I joined basically for the accountability and for the ongoing support and encouragement that's accessible, in essence, 24/7, because I can log in any old time. I can access some of your trainings. I can comment and help encourage other people when I'm struggling, and that's an encouragement to me as well. So that's why I felt it was important that I do this.
Yeah. And even just to say that, to let people know that, I do have a public Facebook group that is, well, not public, it's closed, but it's free, the Healthy and Thriving Women. But then there's the members club. And I know you've been a part of the free group for a while. So kind of like, what made you decide to kind of join the paid group as opposed to just the free group?
Again, I think it was really just, I knew I had to make some kind of an investment in my ongoing health and maintaining it. And, I don't want to say that everybody who pays money to join a gym ends up going every day, but you're more inclined if you've spent money on something.
Yeah. Even if it's small amount, right? You're like,
it is. And and it's a reasonable amount. It wasn't exorbitant what the membership fee was to join the group, but it was enough that it shows that it's valuable to me, and I'm valuable to me, and I needed to spend a little money and feel it in my pocketbook a little bit, invest in myself and be committed in that way. So that was why I really felt like, I can do free resources and find them everywhere online all the time, but you don't necessarily value all of the things that you get for free, and you take them for granted, and you assume like, oh, they'll always be there and I'll check back in, and then you just don't, because you get busy. And so I'm paying attention in the group that I've paid for, because I paid to be there, and it's important, and it's a value to me.
Right. Well, yeah. Thank you so much. Yes. And so for all those watching, just want to let you know that right now the 7-day challenge all the resources, both the master class, the worksheets, the Q&A replays, and then actually a thing to tie it all together is available for $27 US. And then, you know, the membership community right now, it's during October when this is recording, I'm closing enrollment this month, but it's $49 US per month and $119 US for 3 months. And actually included with the membership community, just to let people know, that is a very much a holistic health. Physical health is a part of it, but my 7 pillars of holistic health are physical, emotional, mental, spiritual, vocational, financial, and relational. So you'll find trainings all around those 7 areas, as well as there's a Facebook group, coaching calls, and monthly trainings and accountability partners. So I'm so excited to continue journeying with you there, Bethany, and to see everything that happens in your business and your health and life. And so thank you so much for joining us. And maybe you can let us know a little bit about where people can find Zellbeing, the website, social media.
Basically, facebook.com/Zellbeing or online at zellbeing.com.
Awesome. Well, yes, go check her out. She has some awesome stuff up there. All right. Thanks so much, Bethany.
Thanks.
Thanks.